Hey everyone, Rob from Daisho Tactical here, bringing you a video about immediate action drills, otherly known as tap, rack, bang drills, or in more politically correct times, tap, rack, decide drills. Now, what is it? An immediate action drill is a drill you do anytime you pull the trigger on your rifle, you expect to get a bang, and instead you get a click, like so. Okay? Only two things cause a click. Okay? Either A, bad cartridge, okay, or B, no cartridge. A, bad cartridge, not very common. I've used good ammunition for quantity for my duty rounds. If you use good ammunition, store it properly, although it can happen, not very likely. What's more likely? B, no bullet in the chamber. So what causes no bullet in the gun? Well, it's always user error. One very common one is when loading the magazine, people forget to give it a little tug at the end. Therefore, the magazine is not properly secured in there. It's out of the well a little bit, and then when you charge it, it doesn't strip around off top of that magazine, and thus the chamber is empty. That's the first one. Another one is in your rush to do whatever you had to do, you did not properly load your weapon because of stress, and you went into your situation without a loaded weapon, otherly known as a dead man's gun. Obviously a huge problem. So what's this drill look like? Basically, I'm gonna start low ready, come up on target. The second I get that click, first thing I'm gonna do is finger straight. That is critical, finger straight. Don't keep your finger depressed on that trigger and do your tap rack. Will it go bang? No. But the second I release this finger at all, it's set and ready to go right at the end of the trigger reset. It's not safe, it's very dangerous. Remember, first step is always finger straight. So once again, click, finger straight, tap, rack, back on target, decide what I'm gonna do. One more time. That's simple. That's your immediate action drill, that's your tap, rack, bang. So why is this an important skill set to learn? Well, because they're common. It's actually a lot more common than having to reload, believe it or not. Real world, whether you're in law enforcement or as a civilian, your chance of going 30 rounds into a proper gunfight with an AR-15 is almost nothing. It is extremely, extremely, extremely rare. However, the likelihood of you going into a gunfight with either an unloaded weapon or an improperly seated magazine is actually fairly high when compared to your chance of doing a reload. And that's why, in my opinion, I don't care if you can do a 2-second reload or a 5-second reload. I really don't care. What I care about is how well you react to when you get a click when you're trying to pull that trigger. I have a lot of students that not really well seasoned with the rifle. They get that click, and the first thing they do is just stare at the side of it. They look at the magical Colt pony and hope the Colt pony is going to tell them, hey, here's how you fix the gun. And they look at me and then they raise their hand. I have some of them actually remove the magazine and do a reload, which doesn't fix the problem, okay? So how do we train this? Well, there's two ways. One is with what I'm using here. It's called a tap rack trainer. It's a little kind of plastic U-shaped nub here. Goes in the top of your magazine. Basically, when you cycle the weapon on an empty magazine, it won't lock to the rear. It'll just cycle back forward as if there was a cartridge in there. It's a really handy tool for practicing reloads and practicing immediate action drills. Big fan of it. The other way is with a dummy round, like this one. It's basically an inert round. You put it in your magazine somewhere when you're doing your drills, and sooner or later when you reach that dummy round, you're going to need a click. Then you do your immediate action drill to clear it out. You just go on with your drill. Whenever I'm teaching, I have my students, if I'm doing like a culmination drill, I'll put one of these in each of their magazines, like a 15 to 20 round mag. Put one of these in there. It's a really good way to really reinforce that immediate action drill skill, that tap, rack, bang, without having to derail the entire drill. Now, a lot of shooters, although they've been trained in the immediate action drill, they don't really understand it. They just know it's like their go-to method of something's wrong with the gun and I gotta fix it. So no matter what happens, they always tap, rack, bang. The issue with that is that it can actually make some things worse. Okay, if you have a double feed or a stovepipe, doing a tap rack will almost always make it a hell of a lot worse and more difficult to clear. That's why I tell my students, always kind of hook the immediate action drill and click of the gun together, click of the trigger. So the only time I do an immediate action drill is when I get a click, and the only response to a click is an immediate action drill. If you marry those things together and only do it then and only then, you're going to be just fine. That's all I got on immediate action drills. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, hit the little bell. You know how YouTube works, or hit the follow on Rumble if you're following me over there. Better yet, support my content by going to my website, daishotactical.com, and purchasing some merch. On that website, you can find a variety of slings in a bunch of different colors that I make here at home on my workbench. Thanks for watching.